All right, everybody. So, welcome back. Today, we're actually on episode 36. I don't normally drop the episode numbers, but I wanted to today specifically because I'm going to talk about something that's been heavy on my heart. It's the resistance or persistence. So, why most people quit right after the work begins, why most people quit right before it even happens. Most people don't actually quit because it's hard, they quit because it feels wrong. So when I talk about this being episode number 36, what I'm trying to tell you is episode number one felt really awkward. Episode number five felt a little bit better, but still super nervous. When it doesn't feel right, your body, your mind, your heart, everything that you think of, there's a persistence that kicks in and there's a resistance that kicks in. And sometimes those are both singing to you the same song, just different tunes. But resistance and persistence for a lot of people, including myself, they almost feel identical. Like when I say the word, you're probably thinking that's the same thing. And they couldn't be further from each other until the outcome actually reveals which one is which. Okay. So when we're going into these things, I want you guys to understand they are different and they are yet still tied together. Welcome back. This is Elevate with Enbody, episode number 36. I'm your host, Tim Enbody. This is where I'm going to leverage 25 years of my sales and marketing experience. I've been mentored and coached. I share this with you guys all the time, right? And today we're going to bring back one of my favorites, the comparison of resistance and persistence. We're going to really dig in deep. So get your paper, get your pen, and get ready. Most people are going to misread this and then walk away way too early. So I want you to hit pause, get ready, shut off your radio, close your door to your office, and just take a second and let's jump into segment number one. What really is resistance? What is it? What resistance really is, and when is it? Resistance shows up the moment you start something that really matters. Resistance shows up a lot of times when you just get into something. So let's use the gym. I'm going through a life transformation, right? I keep talking about this stuff. Day one, I'm excited. I go home after the workout, after changing my diet, after talking to a trainer, whatever I'm doing. But let's just talk about day one at the gym. What do you do usually after day one? How much time did you prep yourself to even go? For me, it's a big talk. Long time ago, I couldn't wait to go. Now I'm 50. I have to talk myself into it. So my wife and I just joined a gym. That's resistance. Tomorrow. How about just putting some tennis shoes on and going for a walk? I'm busy. Tomorrow. Resistance to something that is going to benefit me, I still find ways of pushing off. Do you? I'm not just talking about at home. I'm talking about at work specifically, a task, a project. Maybe you're trying to write a book. Maybe you're trying to put together a presentation. Maybe you're going to do a lunch learn. I don't care. But the resistance to doing these things is oftentimes what separates this from this. Getting by, successful. So when we get into this, I want you to start to really figure this out and I want you to have fun with it. It's not doubt. It's not friction. It's discomfort. And we've talked about this before, right? Discomfort is when things happen. We get comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's when the magic starts to happen. Resistance is for the people that don't handle that very well sometimes. Resistance, it's like a warning sign, like your warning light just came on in your truck. Most of the time, for me, and for a lot of you, it's actually a confirmation that they came on. The reason why I'm feeling this resistance is because it's about ready to get hard. It's about ready to get uncomfortable. But guess what happens when that happens? Sometimes that resistance, when you push through it, that's when the wrong becomes right. It really means you're actually at the early stages of a breakthrough. So let's get really clear. Resistance is tension you feel when you step into a meaningful job, work, program, the gym, something. Persistence is the discipline to stay in it, the discipline to stay after the motivation dies and before the results show up. So the resistance, I'm going to the gym, I'm working out, my butt's tired, I go home, I take a shower. At some point, I start to feel good about what I just did. The persistence tells me to go again the next day. I'm going to go get uncomfortable again for the growth. I'm going to get uncomfortable again for the scale, for how I feel. I'm going to get uncomfortable and go, you know what? I don't need to eat 2 burgers. My wife used to make fun of me, real life story. Burger King used to have these sales all the time. You buy 1 Whopper, get 1 Whopper free. I could just have eaten the one Whopper, but what did I do? It's a long road to get to 355, people. You eat both Whoppers with a large Diet Coke and a king size or super size or Mongo size French fry. And I'm going home like, oh, I was like, why did you eat them both? I'm like, it was a sale. And she's like, you were the biggest gup out there. And I'm like, I get it. And so now I have to pay the price. The resistance model at work is the exact same thing. It's going to be the persistence of it, though, that gets you through it. Does that make sense? So it's identical to me almost at every moment, but one builds excuses while the other one builds results. If you have been telling yourself maybe this just isn't for me anymore. I don't know, let's pick whatever your industry is. Pick the gym. I don't care. We can talk about anything. It doesn't have to be about business today. So you know what? Maybe today we're not even going to talk about that. Let's just go, what is it that you're going through today that you feel that the resistance of whatever it is doesn't feel like it's enough for you to be persistent to get through it? I'm telling you, in that middle zone, if here it is on this map, right in the middle where it's super uncomfortable, that's when the magic happens. So I want to get into segment number 2. I don't want this to take all day for you guys that are trying to figure this stuff out. Segment number 2 for you and for me is why persistence feels so uncomfortable. Do you know why? Persistence isn't dramatic, but it's boring. It's hey son, how was school today? Oh, it was boring. Why? Because your resistance to it is because it's school. Your persistence to go through it is how you graduate, right? For work, same thing. Like, what'd you do today? I had to talk to 10 new customers and I did sign one new policy and, but at the end of the week, you got paid. Why? Your resistance to doing the boring stuff got you the reward of the good stuff, but it's not always rewarded. And that's when we've talked about this too, guys. That's when the invisible happens. So you don't always have to seek the applause or the validation. There's not always going to be proof either, especially proof that it's working. Sometimes that doesn't happen to the end. That silence makes a lot of people panic. It does me. So I'm talking firsthand, boom. If you can't see me, I'm pointing my chest. Sometimes that silence is when I'm like, am I doing the right thing? I'm right on the edge. I'm leaning forward. I'm ready to dive off. Or better yet, you ever been in that position where you're trying to do a backflip and you're afraid you're going to become a meme that someone's going to have on their phone later because your wife's still going, go ahead, fatty, try it. That to me is the same feeling that I feel sometimes when I'm going through that uncomfortable stage. Like I'm right about ready for a breakthrough. And I'm going to beg you. I'm on my hands and knees. Don't quit. Don't quit. Because it's working. A lot of people do quit. And then once again, that's when the pack separates. Don't quit. Okay. It happens. And I promise you, it happens fast. So segment number 3, how people confuse these two. Resistance, ask, why is this so uncomfortable? Persistence, ask, am I willing to stay anyway? Here's a couple examples. Posting content before anyone even knows who you are. Building before you even see revenue coming in. Learning about something before you even have the confidence to share it with somebody. Does that make sense? If you expect comfortable before momentum, you're going to quit every time. You're going to quit every time. So segment number 4, the difference that decides everything. Resistance wants relief. Persistence wants results. One helps you feel better right now, this moment. The other builds. And it's building for something amazing. It's building for something to be seen later. If it matters, it will resist. If something you're doing really does matter, you're going to feel some resistance. You're going to feel that first. But understand this, you're not stuck. You're not broken. You're not behind. I think at that moment when you're feeling this, you're standing at the exact spot that resistance and persistence start to cross. When they actually start to align, okay? That's where the resistance asks you to stop. And then the persistence of what you're doing every single day takes you to where the uncomfortable becomes known. And that choice you get to make, not only for yourself, for your family, for work, your coworkers, somebody at the gym, somebody anywhere. That's when everything else starts to line up. Until next time, keep elevating your business and your brand.